What do prisoners do once leaving prison? I've been out of prison for 12 years. Did it all without violating parole or committing a new crime. After serving 16 years for armed robbery, I worked for 5 months as a furniture maker from January 11, 2007 to May 15, 2007. After getting laid off due to slow requests for custom furniture, I searched for another job while doing personal shopping. After not finding a job I was going for, I walked into a pancake house chain and asked for a job. This was my first year. The manager asked, "What are you looking for? Can you cook or ever serve tables?" While in prison I had learned 3 different computer languages and tutored computers, life skills, CPR, first aid and jewelry making. My title was Program Services Assistant. Some of my time was spent as part of this job was database design and data entry, and I was very good. I looked at the manager and said, "I know how to wash dishes and I need a job. I've worked in the prison kitchens and you will not regret it." The manager looked at me, looked at my resume fit for a $50,000 salary. 43 is a little old for a dishwasher. Let me see if I can get you higher pay. He left and talked to the regional manager, came back and said, "How's $11 sound?" I worked at that restaurant part-time for $400 a month, taking the bus when I could. Because the other dishwashers were teenagers, they couldn't work past 9:30 and had to be at school in the morning. I filled in, which made me more money. While I wasn't working, I was taking T-bus to job interviews. After 5 months my phone rang. "How would you like to work for Food Bank of Alaska?" "I'd love to work there. Giving back is what I do." I walked into the interview and sat before 4 ladies and was asked, "What does the Program Services Assistant do?" I went on and explained the database I had created, which tracked every inmate order, their materials they have in their hobby craft items, every education class they took, their race, waiting lists which automatically shuffled the next inmate on a list into their chosen hobby. The database also kept track of inmate orders, the cost and totals of every cent they spent. When I finished, they looked at each other with a gleam in their eyes and explained they were looking for a data manager and decided the new title should be Program Services Assistant. I worked there from March 2008 to April 2015. I started out at $12.50 an hour and was given a raise a year later. The directors insisted they find money to pay me more. After a year I was given the title of Inventory Specialist. It was a new title for the organization. I was asked to clean up the inventory, which consisted of 6 million pounds of food a year and provided 190,000 Alaskans with supplemental food. After 3 months I was asked to take over customer service in the warehouse. When I left, I was the facilities and equipment supervisor. As a customer service rep I increased cash flow of $50,000 my first 6 months. I managed and personally touched 6 different federal food programs. As a facilities supervisor I saved the organization over $14,000 a month by cutting unnecessary contracts and streamlining delivery operations. Before I left I provided valuable information about deliveries and poundage delivered by each truck by compiling 3 years of data and analyzing each printout. It took me 3 days to do what no thought was possible. The report was given to the state legislature, who awarded us $240,000 for new trucks. There were tears the day I left, not because of what I had done, but because of who I had become. The past 3 years found me at home in my village, working as the EMS coordinator. I had organized a team of volunteer firefighters into building a professional fire department. I trained among the best firefighters and am one of 22 specially trained to fight shipboard fires in the state of Alaska. I've provided life-saving measures, including talking down an armed suicidal man while I was unarmed. I've assisted and coordinated medevacs, search and rescue, saved homes from fires. I became a man who will do whatever it takes to help others. I held a basic firefighter certification in ETT. I am one of 22 firefighters in Alaska registered with Homeland Security to fight shipboard fires. During my release I've helped those who were released from prison in finding housing and employment. I used my prison experience in my resume. My fellow felons who did time with me were my character witnesses, along with a case manager from prison. I held faith in the education and skills I learned, not by where I learned. Overcome your self-doubt. Some get out and thrive, some don't.